on behalf of my good friend and classmate. I've known him since we were little kids. Not only did I go to Frabel with him, but I went to Kentucky State University with him. So we've been friends for a long, long time. And I just really want to take this opportunity to actually introduce him to those of you that don't know him, and to let those of you that do know him just to kind of meet and greet with him a little bit. I wanted to read some things about him in terms of his areas of expertise, his qualifications. And I don't know if you heard or not, Miss Jordan did not say she made you a colonel. Did you hear me?
She made me sorry.
She said colonel. I said sorry. I said sorry. I did, but it's cold. Anyway, he is a retired colonel. Yes. He's a retired colonel. His name is Richard Ligon, and he is running for Lake County Sheriff. As I said, he is a Gary resident, graduate of Frabel High School, went to college with me at Kentucky State University. Experience, 36 years in military service, director of Gary Army, JROTC, 6 years, federal law enforcement, 24 years, police commissioner, Gary Police Department, Indiana State parole agent, 3 years, juvenile probation officer, 9 years, as a supervisor, and a deacon at the Embassies of Christ Kingdom Ministries. Special training in hospice and crisis negotiation, special training in crime scene investigation, bomb scene investigation, identity theft investigation. We need that identity theft investigation because, as you know, that's one area where they try to get it on our seniors. They try to get all the information they can on you so they can do some identity theft on you. So that's a good area for them to have expertise in. Workplace violence specialist, special response team member, public information officer, executive protection SME, and National Incident Command System, NIMS. And all of this is outlined for you on the little card that you have. His goals, his experience, and his special training to evaluate and eliminate unnecessary spending, to institute youth programs, improve communication between our schools, churches, parents, and public safety, implement effective veteran support programs, collectively work with all public safety agencies, continue to be a strong advocate of protection of animal rights, develop resources to combat and educate against identical theft, as we said before, and eliminate employee punishment for political reasons and increase the morale of all employees. And if you ever worked in any kind of business that is public, in any kind of office, any kind of agency, you know that you have to do several things to increase morale, because morale will get low, especially when people are talking about they want salary raises. Like right now, it's a big push where they're trying to get the minimum wage raised because they want to increase morale. So these are all things that he has on his resume as his accolades that he has, that he brings to us in Gary, Indiana. And I did want to introduce you to him, as I said before, and to let him speak to you and say whatever he wants to present to you, and to allow you, if you have any questions or anything, to ask them of him. So right now, without any further ado, I would like to introduce retired Colonel Richard Ligon, candidate for Lake County Sheriff.
Oh, wow. I'm very honored to be here, but without the Lord's blessings,
Amen.
None of that would be possible, and we know that. The most important position in my life was being ordained as a deacon. I'm not saying one day I'll be a pastor, but just being a deacon and being able to help people is such a blessing for me, such as putting people in homes, and we have so many different programs. But what I'd like to really focus on is how, if we could bring all these churches together,
Amen.
What a difference this whole city would make.
Right.
I mean, just bringing them together. I believe in core values, and one is integrity. And to me, when you're stealing money from people and programs, that's a sad business. And I'm planning to do everything I can to make sure that everyone knows what's happening with the dollars that you work hard for and that you deserve now. What I'd like to do is just really briefly talk about identity theft. That's one of my specialties. And to protect seniors, I tell you, that's just the most important thing. I'm going to just give you my plan as far as identity theft. Once you have become a victim of identity theft, it's all over. They got you. They become you somewhere else. I'll give you a good example, and that's the 911 crash. The pilot had stolen someone else's identity and had training of how to fly a plane, never how to land it, but how to fly it. And one person on the plane identity was stolen. So, you know, you look at the manifest, and we had to have some of our federal agents in Florida go and talk to this person's spouse to say that, you know, your husband had died in a plane crash, and, you know, we're sorry. And first, the lady kind of just started crying and said, no, no. And then she said, plane crash? She said, my husband went to work this morning. And so we said, well, he couldn't have, he was on this plane. So first we started thinking maybe he had a girlfriend, and maybe he did this, and maybe he did. I said, well, can you call him? And she called him, and he came home from work. And you know, that's just a situation where, just imagine someone, and it was a blessing that it wasn't him, but the terrorists had assumed some identities and really did some awful things. Another case is where some inmates in the prison in Michigan City had stolen seniors' ID. They pick on seniors. I'm a senior. They pick on us. And what they did is they actually, if a senior spouse passed, they actually called them and said, I'm from a credit card company, and they wanted to take your name off the list. And then they asked you a few questions. Well, you're in mourning. So, you know, the bottom line is you know, you in mourning. So people were able to ask questions and do things to you that you couldn't believe. But they had purchased items, they had purchased everything. But the thing that upsets me most is when they come to your house, knock on your door, or come to your apartment, knock on your door to arrest you. That's the most embarrassing thing. And I know you may not feel it right now, but if some police officers came to your door and knocked on it and said you're under arrest, and I'm sure Joyce wouldn't allow that to happen because she would understand that your identity had to be stolen. But that is one of the most vicious crimes. If you look in the paper every single day, you'll see where someone's identity has been stolen, either filed an income tax. The other day, these people assume a dead person's identity and continue to receive their Social Security. So that's one main focus. But most of all, I'm from Gary. Okay, raised on 17th and Grant. Love my city. When I became a federal agent, I had to leave for a while, but guess where I came back to? Right back to Gary. And my mother raised 50-some foster children. She was the neighborhood cook. She cooked those biscuits, and somehow back then you had lard and stuff that the smell went all over the neighborhood. So you bring it back. So everything that I can do for Gary, I've tried to do. You probably remember because maybe some of you all helped, but a few years ago we had the military come in and tear down crack houses. They were actually tearing down crack houses. But they had guards. They had police actually patrolling to make sure that none of the soldiers were shot and harassed, because that's the bad name that we give this city. But after a while, after a couple of days, they were so shocked because these people in that neighborhood were baking pies, fixing lunches for the police officers and the military people. It's just a total different mindset than what people think. And that's one reason I've not left. I'm still back here in Gary. I'm going to stay in Gary until I can, until they kick me out or I go into a pothole and come up somewhere else, you know. But that's why I want to be the sheriff, because I love Gary, and that means it's a part of Lake County. And when I say I need your support, I really need your support. Last time I ran, I lost about 1,000 votes. 1,000 votes. And that's nothing. That's 500 people that if we could have persuaded them to just get out and vote. The voter turnout was very poor. 17% of the registered voters voted. That's horrible. So I'm asking for your help. I'm asking to pass the word, and you all are God-fearing people. And all I say is pick the best qualified person. If it's not me, vote for that person. If it's me, you know, not only because I know what I'm going to do. I'm not leaving Gary. and the people I love are here. You know, a big chunk of me came out when I lost my mother. I'm gonna tell you that. 89 years, but it's a blessing, and we can't make those rules. But that was a person that was always there for you, and that's the way she brought us up. She raised us that way. Work hard, good days pay, good days work. You know, and that's what she did. And just like I say, right on 17th and Grand, I used to walk to Frable School, and don't hold that against me, Panthers, but Frable was one of the top schools, and it was always Frable and Roosevelt. Yeah, because I was right on Grand Street, and if I lived across the street, I would have to go to Tolliver. Some of my best friends that lived across the street went to Tolliver, you know. So I really, truly need your help and support. And I actually look at the credentials, see if I'm worthy, you know, of you sacrificing and voting. And I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to do everything I can for Gary, Indiana, which if you do it for Gary, it's going to affect the whole county, trust me. You know, I've been very upset lately because you have police officers coming in this city, bad-mouthing this city, making no one wants to come in. You call the radio station, the television station, and have them riding in the back seat of your car while you talk about Gary, Indiana. That to me hurts. You know. Now, some of the things they're doing, they supposed to do. But use intelligence. Don't stop a 62-year-old female you frightened her almost to death, you know, because you stopped her because she had a broken license plate light. You know, that's not how it's done. So I don't want to talk too much about that. All I'm saying to you is that I really, truly need your support. Now, at that, I'm gonna, and we have gifts for everybody that you can pick your own, and then we have a raffle. And I'm definitely not trying to buy your vote, okay? But sometimes little gifts help you. It just kind of motivates you to be happy, whatever it is, you know. So, and sometimes I like little gifts. I don't care if they didn't cost anything. It's the thought behind it. But most of all, is there any questions that anyone like to ask about law enforcement or identity theft that I can answer for you? Yes, ma'am.
You know what? My name is Dorothy Robinson. I don't know if you remember me or not. Class 1960.
Okay. Well, hold that against it.
Charles Hatton. I was a great friend of his.
Okay.
I was a great friend of his.
Okay.
And I've been in Las Vegas, Nevada for 8 years, but I've been back home now, like you know, I'm back home. Before I left, though, I was born and raised here. Had a home here for 36 years. But I'm back now, but what I really have to say to you, I've heard about, is that I was a precinct committeeman for 12 years before I left. And I would like to be on the campaign trail with you.
Okay.
So I'll give you my phone number.
Do you reside here?
Yes, I reside here.
Well, you know, the first thing I need,
Uh-huh.
I need for someone to take the responsibility to do absentee ballots.
Oh, okay.
Okay? I have them here.
Okay.
And I need everybody can't get out and vote.
Right.
Okay? You don't know how the weather's gonna be.
That's right.
But you can do your card by voting. So if we can get as many today filled out, we'll hand carry them to the county. Then they'll mail you the ballot.
Okay.
And once they mail you the ballots, then all we ask is that you consider me on that ballot. Okay, so if you would do that for me, since you reside here, that would be great. That would be great. Okay, thank you so much. And then we have meetings every Saturday at 11th and Cleveland.
11 Cleveland.
Yes, ma'am. And sometimes we have people coming this way if you don't have transportation. But you know, we love for you to be a part. This Saturday we're going to do a grand opening at our Crown Point office. But other than that, we're right down there where someone's there almost every day. It's a big pink Well, women say pink and I say rose color.
That's your
You know,
name.
yes ma'am. Cause if you say pink, I think I'm a little weenie. So I say rose color. All right, let's just bless the food and then you can,
Okay.
Father God in heaven, thank you once again for this beautiful day, Heavenly Father. Thank you for the blessings, seen and unseen. And thank you for this food for the nourishment of our bodies. Thank you for your guidance and your love. These prayers, blessings, and guidance I'm asking in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.